Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a quick little video about Pretty Vulgar, talking about the company, talking about this blush, showing you me putting it on, and then giving you my review and thoughts and whether I would recommend this blush. I have not used any Pretty Vulgar products before, which is why I'm going to talk a little bit about the brand, and I'm going to put timestamps in the description bar down below so you can jump forward or back or around in this video as much as you want. Pretty Vulgar. So this came into Sephora, a little more than a year ago? I remember at one point everybody on YouTube was talking about this because it's not that often you get a new brand at Sephora. And their packaging was somewhat unique. I saw a lot of people doing sort of full faces of Pretty Vulgar stuff, makeup, and I don't know, it never really attracted me. So I haven't ever used anything, I haven't ever bought anything from them. This came in the March BoxyCharm subscription. This is the blush in the color Make Them Blush, number 18 Hush Blush. So I started looking into Pretty Vulgar and I realized why I'm not so attracted to them, and also just a couple things about the brand. So for me, this just isn't what I'm attracted to. I did a whole video on what your makeup aesthetic is, and I'll link that down below. But for me, I really like stuff that is like packaged in black or silver, really sleek looking, really minimalist looking, and Pretty Vulgar is pretty much the opposite of that. This is their packaging for their blush. It's very similar for their highlighter, also for their bronzer. And yeah, when I started looking into it, they have the idea that Pretty Vulgar is like the dualities that people have within them. Like, you don't have to be just pretty or just vulgar, it can be a blend of the two. So you start out with this concept that it's about contradictions, it's about duality. And then they say that for their packaging, they really wanted this sort of vintage look, sort of eclectic vintage. And it's like, okay, I can see that. So pretty picture frame. They have some really cute packaging in their finishing spray. Looks like an old style perfume spritzer. Their eyeliner, I think, is it eyeliner? Yes, looks like a quill pen. There are some really cool looking vintage pieces, or vintage looking. Now, one of the problems that I have is this is like plastic. It doesn't have any weight to it. It feels really cheap. So you're selling this stuff for a higher price at Sephora and it still feels really cheap. So you've got that sort of vintage look going on, which doesn't really go together with the Pretty Vulgar theme, or the dualities or contradiction. And then the third part of it is they say that their colors and things like that are inspired by birds. There's a little bird on their logo there, you know, you're gonna put a bird on it. Their makeup palettes all look like bird cages with a bird on top of it, which doesn't look vintage in any way. So I think for me, first of all, this just doesn't speak to me, the actual packaging, but then they've got three different things they're going for which don't quite mesh. Like, if you were talking about Pretty Vulgar and you wanted it to be about contradictions and duality, I could see doing maybe sort of a package of a blush where one side is something crazy color and the other side is very classic and it has sort of a dual sounding kind of name, like, Soft Thorns or something like that. And then, okay, if you're going to have it be very eclectic, retro looking, then carry that through the whole collection and have the name reflect that. And then if it's going to be something to do with birds and bird cages, then have that carry through the whole collection and have the name reflect it. To me, it just feels confused and it doesn't attract me in terms of the packaging. And for me, there hasn't been anything that has called out to me enough in terms of the actual product that it makes me want to go and buy it. So that is my thoughts, my personal feelings about the brand. Actually receiving this blush, I was excited to receive it. It was a pretty color. I saw some other colors that people received and I thought, okay, I'm glad I got something that's sort of a, dusty rose color is what this is. So it's pretty universal. It's a kind of color that I would go for. And great, perfect. I looked at the price of this in Canadian dollars to buy this blush, which is 6 grams, $31.50. That is crazy expensive. But I thought, okay, that's fine. If it's like an amazing blush, maybe I'll get over it. If this is like life-changing blush, maybe that's what it is. So let me show you the very first thing that happened when I decided to try this blush. I'm gonna go in with my very favorite blush brush here. This is a crown brush. It's a little bit of an angled brush, but it's very, it's not dense. It's got some movement to it, so it doesn't really go in with a lot of color. And I find it just works nicely for covering my cheeks, but also giving me a little bit of preciseness. So, tap in there like I usually would, get out my mirror, and whoa, like Pigment City. So now that I've gotten way too much of it on there, I'm gonna try to blend it out. And I know on camera, my blush actually doesn't show up as much as it does in real life, but this is a lot going on here right now. So in order to actually use this, I, put my brush in, tap it off, and even then I find I have to go in with a super light touch to not just get completely overwhelmed. And even this is a lot of blush for me, and I don't find it blends super well around the corners because even the lightest touch of it deposits so much pigment. So the actual description of these blushes, and they do have 8 shades of them, is that it is a silky smooth powder blush that gives your cheeks a gorgeous pop of color. It says it awakens your complexion with an innovative silky smooth pressed blush powder formula. I have no idea what's innovative about it. These long-wearing pigment-rich powders can be worn alone or paired together to create a multi-dimensional look with a natural-looking radiant glow. They are definitely pigment-rich, I will give them that, a little bit more so than I want for a blush. Now they are vegan, they are cruelty-free, and they are gluten-free, and they are made without parabens, sulfates, and phthalates. So all of that is very good, especially if you are looking for a vegan, cruelty-free product. I should say though that not all of them are vegan. 6 of the 8 shades are vegan and 2 of them are not. So when you are looking for Pretty Vulgar products, pay close attention to which ones are vegan if that is what you are looking for. So let me give you a little up close swatch so you can see the color of this. And those are just 2 swatches of the same color. It's a beautiful color. It's very pigmented for a blush. So I know this is a super quick video. Would I recommend this for $31.50 Canadian? No. It's not a bad product. It lasts a long time, it's a pretty color. So let's balance this out. If you love this packaging, if looking at this every day is going to make you happy because this is your favorite aesthetic and you love it, you're drawn to it, and you want it in your collection, the product works fine. It's a beautiful color. It lasts a long time. On the other hand, it is $31.50. It's not that unique of a color. It's a little too pigmented in that, for me at least, in the morning when I'm getting ready on the go, I don't want to have to stop and think like, whoa, wait a minute. Did I tap my brush off enough? Is it just going to leave a huge streak of color that I'm then going to have to blend out and go back over with another powder? And for me, this is not something that I'm attracted to. So those are things you want to take into consideration if you're considering looking at getting one of these Pretty Vulgar blushes. So for all those reasons, this is not super highly recommended from me, but if you want to get it, there's nothing wrong with it. Just a few things you should be aware of before you go and buy. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of Pretty Vulgar as a brand overall and of this product. Leave all of that in the comments down below. I do respond to every comment that I get, or at least I do try to. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and watch my old videos, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day. Bye.